Hey guys, what's going on? It's Jugs, and today we got some Scout gameplay in the background, and this isn't a live commentary, you guys. I think some people liked it, but I think what it was is that a lot of subscribers I have exclusively for the Scout guides, and so they're used to a more polished product than the casual commentaries that I really more or less enjoy doing most of the time. The casual commentaries, like the live comms and stuff, those are the videos that I really enjoy making because it's not stressful on me. It's easy. I can upload them in a high volume because I just turn on the mic and play, and it's as simple as that. It's not always as refined. It's not always as funny or as succinct as a video that's been pre-recorded, but it's easier, and it's in that way it's more fun for me. But regardless, I still want to do both, and this is one of those videos where I actually took the time to record gameplay and then record my voice audio after. So you're gonna get something that's a little more cohesive in terms of my thoughts. It's really hard for me to play and speak. I guess what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say with an elevated diction because it sounds really arrogant and stupid, and it's not at all what I'm going for, but I guess to put it mildly, to sound intelligent, or to I was really trying to avoid redundancy here, but to put together a cohesive thought. And it's really hard for me because honestly I'm not as smart as I might come off. I'm just not. I don't have the ability to multitask and do two things just as well as I would be able to if I were doing those two things, individually. Some people can. Some people, they have like multi-core settings in their fucking brain, and they can just like do 8 different processes at once. And to an extent I can. I mean, my job requires me to be really, really multitask capable. But in terms of actually coming up with something witty or something intelligent, versus just performing functions, it's a little bit harder for me to do, especially when it comes to something as focus intensive as playing the Scout is. Maybe if I was playing Pyro or Heavy or something, I could totally just tell you my whole life story. But anyways, I'm playing Scout on Harvest, and I like this gameplay in particular because it's kind of where I go from not having much aim skill at all to kind of regaining, I'd say, 80% of my aiming ability. And that really happens for me when I meet another player that forces me to minimize my mistakes. And in this case, in this particular map, it was this player called Anybody. Like, that was his name, Anybody. He's a Scout, and you'll see I think he dominates me at one point in the gameplay, and that's not really common. That doesn't happen very often at all. I mean, in the last like 6 years, I could probably count on one hand the amount of times that I've been dominated by a Scout, no matter the circumstances, whether or not I was having shitty connection or my team was bad. It just doesn't happen. I can still at least kill that person 1 out of every 5 times to negate the domination, if not dominate them. Like, more than likely I'm dominating the other Scout, even when I'm not up to par with my own skill level or own standards. I'm still able to, just with with knowledge of the game, still be able to set myself up for shots and put myself in good situations where I can survive, etc., etc. But in this particular game, this guy was also as good as me, at least at the time. Maybe I'm better than him when I actually like regain my skill. I think I actually am better than him, because there are a lot of situations where he misses a lot. And if you guys have seen my videos before, I just don't miss very often at all, no matter what. It's like I've been accused of aimbotting quite a bit. And it's not that I'm invincible, but when it comes to Scout v Scout, I tend to not lose those battles. In fact, even if it's 3 Scouts versus me, if they're all like moderately skilled, like they're not too amazing. Like, if I were to fight 3 of these guys, I would not be able to kill all 3 of them. Without a doubt, I wouldn't be able to do that. This guy is really good. But if it's like 3 moderately skilled Scouts, I can take them all out. I'd say 6 times out of 10, which isn't like an overwhelming amount of times, but it's more often than not. But in this particular game, he dominated me, and right there, that was a like particular instance where I knew that I outplayed him. Like where we're strafing left and right, we're like point blank in front of each other. I got the better shots on him, but I just had less health, which it lost me the fight. But that was really cool because he actually was hitting me. He was hitting me while we were both strafing. Like I was surprised. I don't expect other people to be able to do that to me, to be able to point blank hit me when we're point blank strafing in front of each other. That is so hard because the target might be bigger because you're point blank in front of each other, but you're also moving so much faster relative to your field of view, and that makes things really difficult to hit at that speed. And he was able to do it right there with me. I got the better shots, but he still, not to take anything away from him, he was still able to hit me. Yeah, I think he dominated me, but I do dominate him back, which is good. But his was more definitive. I think I lost the gameplay where I definitively dominated him like 2 or 3 times in a row. I ran out of hard drive space. I'm sorry. But I thought this was good enough. I really wanted to just showcase him like pushing my shit in, which is, good, because I think it's important to note that, YouTubers are not like fucking these gods at video games. We're just random players. Like, we just happen to have played the game longer or be a little more adept at the game, but ultimately we're the same. We played the game just as much as you, if not a little bit more. Regardless, this was a fun game for me. It was good because, like I said earlier, he was able to really force me to be a better scout, because it was no choice. It was either succumb to my frustration of having been dominated, or losing scout fights over and over, because a lot of these scout fights are really fair. We both have full health. We're both in situations where we know where the other person is at. Sorry, I had boogers in my fucking mouth. It was a fair fight. A lot of these altercations or these 1v1s were fair fights. But so that was frustrating for me. So instead of like losing over and over, I just like calm myself down. I remember the fundamentals, really. And that's one of the really important things when it comes to being good at anything or regaining your form in anything, is remembering the fundamentals. Michael Jordan, he's arguably the greatest basketball player of all time. In my book, he is definitively the greatest basketball player of all time. He has mastered the fundamentals. He goes on record as saying, like, all that flashy stuff that he's done in the past, it's all extra stuff. Like, the stuff that really gets him the success that he's had are the fundamentals, just the basics of the game, just mastering that, being able to perform that at a high level. So when you get to a point where you don't remember anymore, or you don't have the same skill that you used to, you just go through the steps just all over again. Just make sure that you're following the guidelines. And the videos are up for that stuff. If you guys need help with the aiming, that's up. You guys love those videos. Just verbally or mentally, just tell yourself the steps again, and you'll slowly, as you focus on them, slowly start finding that your kills are going to be becoming easier to you. Situations are not as complicated as they might seem, or as impossible as they might seem. Yeah, and it's good stuff. It's good stuff. It's a lot of fun. You start to enjoy yourself. You start to get the kills, and you start being less frustrated and having more fun. And yeah, that's really all I wanted to say with this video. Just give me some time, guys. I'm recording for Scout Guide episode 3. You might see some of these clips in here. If there's anything good in here, I'll rummage through this stuff. Probably put it in the Scout Guide episode. But yeah, that is coming. I know it's been a while. It's been a good little while now. But I feel like these Scout Guides are they're always applicable. They're always relevant in terms of learning how to play the Scout. Like, the game might change in that there are new weapons, but the classes are always the same. The fundamentals of the classes and the base core of the classes are always the same. So no matter what, you'll be able to go back and watch those videos. And so I'm not so concerned about pumping out all these videos. As much money as these make me, or the Scout Guides make me versus these regular ones, I'm not really that concerned about it. I just like to do everything in my own time. If I were to like shell everything out forcefully, I'd probably hate YouTube, and I probably wouldn't be doing it still. So everything in due time, and pretty soon, I'd say in the next month, you'll probably have the Scout Guide episode. What is it? 4 for. It's going to be the Scout versus Scout because that's what you guys wanted. I was really surprised because I really thought that most of you were going to have problems with Scout versus Soldier. But then I realized that most new players play Soldier, even though the odds are stacked in the Soldier's favor. I'd say 7-3, if not 6-5. Mostly new players play Soldiers because it's easier, it's more appealing for new players versus just a guy that's slightly faster than everybody else and has a shotgun, whereas like the Soldier has a shotgun and he has a rocket launcher. It sounds more appealing. So a lot of newer players play the Soldier, so I realize that that's probably not a problem that you guys have as often as a Scout, who is mainly appealing to FPS veterans that like to go fast, probably Quake veterans or, what have you, whatever the game may be. But yeah, Scout versus Scout obviously is a 5v5 situation because it's the same class. But yeah, it's really just about the fundamentals. Like usually you'll beat the other guys as long as you're focusing on landing your shots more than he is and making the proper movements. But anyways, thanks for watching, guys. If you like this video, don't forget to rate it. It helps me out, and I'll catch you guys later.